Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. This is DJ and I'll be your host for this week. And I'm joined by Varun from Singapore. Varun, man, how's it going?
It's going great, dude. I just watched this KKR game live. Where at the time of recording, the KKR versus Gujarat game has just finished. Obama Chan Studios is live with his comments saying, Rinku Singh, remember the name. That's what I was saying at the end of it, man. So I watched with a little bit of a lag. I turned my phone upside down. I said, I just want to watch these last three or four balls. And it was unbelievable. Like at the end, it was just mayhem. Like you could see Juhi Chawla like looking around saying, who is this Rinku Singh fellow? Like, is he in our team? I think Umesh Yadav was on the non-strikers end thinking the match is not over. It's a CI strategic timeout or something. Like it was just chaos. It was unbelievable.
Is that the greatest finished in IPL game that we've been witness to, man? We've watched 15 seasons of IPL? But to
Yeah, I
finish a
think
game with 5 consecutive 6s, boss.
yeah, it was. I think it's right up there. I think this is probably the number one, especially after you think that Rashid Khan got a hat trick. The game completely swung. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but then Rinku Singh just he had the belief, man. He just kind of was like, I will take on this Yash Dayal dude, and he just read every ball that he was going to bowl, and it was, yeah, it was excellent. So yeah, two other. I mean, I remember that Aditya Tare versus Shane Watson. That was a great game. I remember there were two super overs in Bombay. Bombay,
KL. Yeah,
Punjab.
KL. Yeah, Punjab. KL was
Yeah,
the captain then. Yeah.
where everyone said that after this, Ambani is going to bowl to Preeti Zinta directly because the super overs are never ending. But yeah, this is right up there.
Dude, there's also, I remember the 4 consecutive 6s by MS Dhoni of Akshar.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
I don't even know
That
that
was,
wasn't consecutive. That was
was it
four
not?
sixes. Yeah, because
In
Hashim
and
Amla
over.
saved one. He didn't take a run because Ashwin was on the other end, but he hit the four sixes. But something else,
Yeah.
man. This was something else.
Yeah. So Rohan Padaya comes in and says Rinku did it to Watia. And man, we must address all of this stuff, right? Because Varun, I'm going to give you the privilege and the pleasure of reading out some of the comments that I got for putting KKR in my top four. So, do you want to just not naming any names, but
Yeah.
I got quite a lot of abuse and hate for putting KKR in my top four. And remember, if you go back to our preview, I said they've got a solid local core, and I mentioned Rinku Singh by name there. So, do you want to just read out some of those comments?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to read out some, but we all three of us got trolled, so we're going to address that straight up. But yeah, there were comments like there was proper hate, man. This is the first IPL preview like that. We got so many comments, things like one of the most illogical previews ever. You have no ball knowledge. I don't. That sounds a bit funny, but you have no ball knowledge. Um, you guys don't know how the impact player rule works. KKR in top four, you must be kidding. Like these are some of the comments that we got, right? Really lame analysis of SRH. And SRH right now they are playing, but they're sitting like towards the bottom of the table with the worst NRR. You you there was
Yeah, was it
also.
shoddily prepared analysis was one of my favorite ones.
Yes, very shoddily prepared analysis. Simply did not do justice to the statement, our favorite podcast of the year. Well, thank you for saying that, firstly, but you have to take it like it's the preview, guys. There's only 74 games. We obviously can't predict everything, but we have also been watching this for 15 years. We can go by trends. We understand some stuff. We're wrong a lot of the time, and we're the first people to admit that.
Most of the time.
But yeah, but the amount of shit we got was just unbelievable. And we're pretty happy right now because everything we said is
Yeah.
correct. But they said
What I
KKR is
got
the
wrong was
worst.
KKR is not in the top four, then the top two right now. So I got that wrong.
Yeah, KKR is the worst team of the competition this year. You guys have them vying for the playoffs. Doesn't seem like you've put thought into this. Anyway, don't want to go too much
Hmm.
into this, but basically three things, right? One, DJ said KKR was in the top four, and that has happened. SRH will be towards the bottom, and that has happened. And then Ashwin, our reasonable Ashwin, people have basically gone online and said Ashwin is the only reasonable one.
But
He said
that's why
something.
he's called R Ashwin, right?
Yeah,
R
our
Ashwin
Ashwin,
is stands for
reasonable
reasonable
Ashwin.
Ashwin. For
And so
people who
what's
know Ashwin. That's the funniest thing ever.
And what's happened is he said that Sanju Samson is going to hit two decent scores in the first innings and get a duck in the third, and that is exactly what happened. So, I mean, come on, guys, we do
Ah.
watch a little bit. Give us some credit, but no,
But
jokes apart,
it's
we
not
love.
even that. Listen, we're also doing this now because it may well be that KKR finish out of the top four. It may be that
Yeah,
SRH have a great fight back. It may be that Sanju proves us wrong and is consistent. But this is why we have to hit these points right now because the iron is right now the absolute hottest. So
yeah.
strike when the iron is hot. No, it is all a
And we,
bit of fun, man. I'm seeing some comments which are like apologizing and stuff.
no, no,
Guys,
no. It's
this
just
is what makes the show. This is what makes the
yeah,
show. You trolling, us being wrong. Sometimes we're right. It's all fun. We're all friends. Just it's all cool, bro.
yeah.
Okay, let's get
It's
into it.
all in good fun.
Rinku Singh brings it home for KKR, but also there was a performance before that by Rashid Khan, who was my fantasy captain, man. A hat trick and ending up on the
Yeah,
wrong side of it. He changed it completely. And what players to get out?
yeah. So why I love this game, like the IPL, is just the momentum swings unbelievably, right? It was pretty much KKR doing very well till the 18th over. Shardul and Lockie giving it away, giving out 200 plus score away in the last 2 overs. Venki Iyer, man, impact player, great choice for impact player. I'm surprised that he's an impact player because he was bowling till a couple of seasons back,
Mm.
but they've clearly just transformed him into a batsman. He played an amazing knock. By the way, this was followed by an amazing knock by Vijay Shankar. So Gujarat Titans versus what's the team? I forgot. Who did they play? Versus KKR. Basically,
KKR. We know you
basically
hate
it
them,
was.
but dude.
To me, it was like Hardik Pandya didn't captain, but to me, it was like Hardik Pandya 2.0, and Hardik Pandya 3.0, all playing in the same match. And
Who's
dude,
Hardik
Vijay
Pandya
Shankar,
3.0?
Venki Iyer, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
thought
it's
Andre
like
Russell.
all these all rounders. So yeah, Vijay Shankar went at like 260, 270 strike rate. Venki did extremely well, and then the momentum just switched. Venki had got down. Rashid Khan came in, he took a hat trick, three googlies, got Russell and Shardul out and Narayan, and then last over Rinku Singh just had the belief he could do it. So hats off, the best game so
29
far.
of the last over. That was the best game of the IPL by far, right? And let's talk about, I mean, Shardul. We just mentioned him, right? Let's just try and go by team and the highlights of the week, to be honest. Like, I think going game by
Yeah,
game can be a little bit difficult. Plus, you and I think, are less structured than Ashwin, reasonable Ashwin. So we're just
yeah,
going to flip from game to game. But Shardul Thakur, man, the other game that KKR won earlier in the week, I mean, they were on the mat, right? And then Shardul Thakur comes in and smashes a 50 from nowhere. Another
yeah,
one of Ashwin's X Factor picks, by the way, that has worked. Talk me through
yeah.
that Lord Shardul innings, dude.
I mean, before Shardul came on, I had started sending messages to all the KKR friends, like, you guys are playing like the true champions you are and stuff. And then Shardul came out, and I just had to keep quiet for the rest of that entire game. What a knock! I mean, we know Shardul can bat. I don't know what is it. What happens to him? Like, does he eat something? Does he listen to a particular song? Like, when he does a few things and then goes out and hits those kind of shots, it's like Shardulkar, right? We've said it before on
Yeah,
this
it
show.
was
There is
amazing. He looks like a
there is
different
one
batsman.
there's one straight drive he hit in England. I can't remember which match, that I can watch like over and over again. But he did a great job. Rinku Singh was supporting him there. And then in that match, since we're talking KKR, you had the spin twins, right? Narayan and
Chakra.
Jacko doing extremely well.
Did you call
And
him
my theory,
Chaco instead of
Jacko, yeah.
Chakra?
Oh, do you call him Chakra? I
Chaco.
call him Jacko.
Chakra, dude.
Um,
Okay.
so they both did really well. My theory is that like Chakra is very good when the required run rate starts going up. I think he's very good in that second innings. And there's this new kid called Suyash. Dude, he bowled really well last two games as well. So yeah, he's the impact player that comes on when KKR is fielding and comes off for KKR when they're batting. Overall, great, dude. I didn't expect this from KKR.
Yeah, guess who did expect it from KKR? Also, this guy Suyash has 4.5 in fantasy, so definitely uncapped. Get him into your team, guys. Randomly systematic says anyone who scored a 50 at the Gabba shouldn't be taken lightly. That too against Cummins and Stark. Shardulkar also scored a 50 at the Oval, the fastest 50 ever in England, 32 balls. So maybe he's trying out for that World Test Championship final spot, man. I mean, who knows? It could be
I,
his.
he
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 batted
he
like a
will have a
proper
good
bat.
shot at it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
will have a shot at it. It's just the funny thing is Ashwin asked us to mention it on the show since he couldn't join us. Is that he then got out zero of the first ball, right? And then you just can't help think that's what Shardul's entire journey has been like. You have brilliant performance and then you get out first ball in a crunch game. It's just odd, but hey, credit to
Yeah.
him.
It's insane. Also, all of Ashwin's X factors seem to really be working, right? Like Shami taking wickets, Dubey scored runs, Sanju Samson did well. Right now, as we are watching this game, the only person standing amongst the carnage that is Punjab Kings is another one of his X factors, Shekhar
Yeah.
Dhawan. Insane. I don't know how he's done it. He's done really well, I have to say. But Varun, we've skipped a couple of things, so maybe we should take a breath and go to the we've talked SRH already. They're bottom of the table. They're currently playing the Punjab Kings. Delhi Capitals. Start with the Delhi Capitals Shok Sabha already, please, says Shreyas Singh. So tell me what's gone wrong for the Delhi Capitals this season so far.
Everything has gone wrong. I can't think of a single thing that has gone right. um, when you look at Ponting and Ganguly in the dugout, they look lost, man. You've got Ponting and Ganguly and behind them is Shane Watson. You're almost thinking like, can't these three go out to bat? Like, I think that'll help Delhi Capitals much more than the team that's playing. Look, let's talk about the entire team, right? Shaw is a disaster. Prithvi Shaw is just not showing any growth from the last 5 years. He keeps getting out the same way. He has no impact in any match. I can't remember the last time he did well for DC and actually won us a game. And when you think of all the other teams, the openers are the ones getting you into match winning situations. So Prithvi Shaw is just a disaster. Mitch Marsh had a very bad couple of games. He's flown back for his wedding. David Warner is essentially the Shikhar Dhawan, right, of the Punjab Kings, plays the similar way. Great respect for the guy. I think trying to focus on strike rate, trying to focus on leadership, trying to focus on making enough runs, and somewhere you're just losing the plot, right? Because you're not going fast enough, but you don't have batters, so you can't criticize these kind of players in these situations. You can't say that David Warner is playing badly. He's playing well, but it's just not good enough. Yeah, Riley Rosso, Rovman Powell, nobody is clicking. The Indian core is not working. Sarfaraz, he's done nothing. Again, been given so many chances. Somebody like a Lalit Yadav has always done well, and you don't start with him. Um, something is going wrong. Akshar Patel batted well one game, hasn't batted well the other two. So something is just not clicking. It's not a bad team per se, but I do think it's one of the weaker ones, right?
Yeah, it's really sad for Delhi Capitals fans, right? Like, I mean, one of the questions that's come in is if Ponting can point out Shaw's mistakes in batting, why can't he help him? And this is going back to the Water Gavaskar Trophy last time in Australia, where Ponting was on comms when he said Shaw's got a problem against the incoming ball, right? So, is this a lack of coaching now? Understanding what's happening?
No, I think it's like Deet mentality, like you're like, I will not change, I will not grow, I will not evolve. It's that kind of mentality. Ponting and Shaw have had an issue a couple of years ago as well. When Shaw was not doing well, Ponting kind of said, uh, come on, let's get into the nets and stuff. And Shaw just said, I don't practice when I'm out of form. Something like that. Okay, I mean, maybe I'm getting the words
Mm.
wrong, but I think Ponting was just shocked. He's like, what is going on? Why is this guy not practicing? And it's showing, man. Like, sure, you can hit 5 fours in an over against Shivam Mavi 2 years ago, but beyond that, what have you done? The team depends on you a lot, man. I think you were they were one of the retentions over the Shreyas Iyer. Uh, it's just not worked out.
Yeah, it's been a tough season so far for Delhi Capitals fans, but it's still early on, guys. We have to remember that we are only currently in the 14th match out of 74 games total, of which 70 are league games, right? So there's still only 20% of the tournament's over, which kind of makes me sad already a little bit because it is the
But the key thing for
festival of cricket.
DC is it doesn't look great. I think that's my key. They
Mm,
like some of the other teams you're seeing that promise. KKR didn't start well. They've come back after that. I have no doubt SRH actually has done very well so far in the game that is going on
mm,
live right now. Punjab has
mm.
showed the done well. Lucknow, um, RCB has also won one. There's no X factor here, man. It's just not
Yeah,
working.
yeah. But the other winless team, Varun, and this does this make you feel a little bit better? Is our friends at the Mumbai Capitals, the five-time champion, as we are often informed on Discord. And if you haven't gone to our Discord, go and join it. Um, उनको क्या हुआ भाई? What is gone up on with the Mumbai Indians? I mean, Rohit Sharma, Indian captain, Ishan Kishan, Sky, Tilak Verma's come through. Uh, what's happening?
Yeah, first I just want to say I really like Tilak Verma, man. He is so good. He's
Hmm.
batting at like number five. I think last year he batted at three. He's just carried on that form. I think Tilak Verma is awesome, and I think he's got a short end of the
Hmm.
stick with this team. What is happening with the team? I don't know. It feels like a team that like I read this today that it's a young team. Like you've got your Tristan Stubbs, your Cameron Green, your Tim David,
Dewald Brevis.
Brevis, yeah, and then you've got your Tilak and Kishan and all of these guys. Something is just not clicking at the moment. And Rohit came out
Hmm.
himself and said the seniors need to stand up, starting with me.
Hmm.
Now, seniors in this lineup are basically Sky and Rohit, right? The others need to bat around these guys. They've got some power hitters. Tilak, I think, is like I said, he can play any role that is required of him. But if Rohit and Sky don't stand up, this is not going to work. Kishan is going to hit you, give you one of those big innings when we don't know because he's just not consistent, right? And that's why he's
Hmm.
not even
Hmm.
opening for India anymore. But something is just it's not clicking. It's not clicking as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, Delhi Capitals, of course, we've already discussed. They're sitting currently ninth. There are issues with Warner's strike rate and Akshar not being used for batting or bowling, to be honest. So let's not go too further into that. But Royal Challengers Bangalore, man, they had a really good start. That
Yeah,
8 wicket win where everybody was like, they're going after the net run rate and they're on this. And the
and they
very
beat
next
Mumbai.
game, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But maybe that's not such a big thing these
I
days,
mean it was fun to see
that it
Kohli
was in
hitting archers.
2020, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it was, and he looked in good form. He even looked in good form in the next game, to be honest, against KKR, right? Um, but they seem to like fall short all of a sudden. Um, I think you put them in your top four. Did you? Do you see them bouncing back?
RCB. I did. I think they've done reasonably well in the last few years, and
Yeah.
I think their problem has always been that's the same, right? It's their number five, six, seven. I don't think
Mm,
those guys are winning you matches the same way like a Gujarat or a KKR team is stacked up at five, six, seven. So I
mm,
think too much depends on Kohli, Maxwell, Faf, and
mm.
DK. And without Rajat Patidar, I didn't know that when we did that preview, or we thought he'll be out only for a little while. I think that is a
Rapa,
big blow
dude.
to them.
We talked about him. Rapa.
Yeah, but I don't know if I think it was an injury, but
Mm,
didn't know he was out for so long. And by the way, there've been a lot of injuries. We'll talk about that too. But yeah, RCB's problem has just been the same, man. They just can't adapt. I don't know what it is. They're not able to find that player to fill that spot because they just go way too hard. I mean, Harshal Patel batting at five. Did you see that?
yeah, that was
Like he got
insane.
out.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Harshal Patel batting at five, and then you've got Bracewell, who I have to be honest, I haven't seen too much of him, but
it's pretty good. He
Harshal
scored 100
Patel,
in.
yeah,
He scored 100 in a T20 game in India recently.
yeah. So I think they're bringing him on for that kind of number three slot that they're missing. But Harshal Patel, Shabaz Ahmed, and Anuj Rawat, these are your five, six, seven essentially, and that's
Yeah,
tough, man. It's not easy to win with that.
yeah. So before we go into break, Varun, also I think what I've ended up doing is going. upwards on the table, which seems to be the thing I like doing the most. So let's talk about Punjab Kings. They've flown a little bit under the radar this year, right? What did you make of their? They've played two games. They're playing the third game right now. They had two wins out of two to start off
Yes.
with, right? Which was a pretty impressive start for those guys, to be honest, right?
Yeah, I remember the first game. I'm sure you guys already chatted about it, but what I liked is that everyone just came out and went hard, right?
Yeah.
It
This is
was
the
like
Punjab
Shikhar.
versus Rajasthan game, right?
Yeah. So Shikhar
Yeah.
was there. The idea was that he is going to stay, and everyone
Mm.
around him is just going to come out and just go bang, bang, bang. So I
Yeah.
like
This
that.
is
When I'm just
the
trying to
197. They scored 197 for
yes,
four,
they
and
scored
then Rajasthan got
191.
192.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
everyone had a strike rate above 120. In fact, 123 was the lowest strike rate. I think everyone was
Yeah.
closer to 150.
Yeah,
And that too was a pretty good
and Prab
T20
Simran,
innings.
man,
Yeah,
what a knock in that
yeah,
game,
he played
60
really well.
odd. Shekhar, okay, let's talk a little bit about him before we go to break. Is there a place for a guy who scores 30 of 30 and then accelerates? Why do you need that guy? The anchor batter.
Well, okay, it's easy to say right now because Punjab versus SRH, Punjab is 77 for 7. So the challenge with going hard, with every player going hard, is that you do actually need a Shikhar Dhawan type of character. He accelerated very well, so let's give him credit for that. There's a lot of criticism about the 30 of 30. Yes, balls were wasted, but he accelerated excellently towards the end. I think it's that same problem we see with Rahul and a few of the others. If you can just get that, like if you could have been 30 of 22 also, it would have pretty much probably been acceptable. So I think Shikhar is not going to change the way he plays because he knows that he has to bring this entire batting lineup together. And yeah, we're seeing randomly systematic. It's just said Punjab will be stronger with the return of Liam Livingston. Yes, they will. I think they're missing Liam Livingston, who's a great all rounder and who can really tonk that ball right out of the park. So I think that will be required for a Shikhar. And Rajapaksa also got injured without really playing too many deliveries. So a couple of things that haven't gone their way, and that's why Shikhar probably had to step up.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, it was a good win. They won by 5 runs. Dhruv Jurel tried his best to bring Rajasthan, who were one of the better batting lineups in this tournament, to bring him back into the game.
And
But Punjab
Nathan
managed to
Ellis.
hold on. Yeah,
Nathan
that's my
Ellis.
guy. I had him
Yeah,
in my
you picked
fantasy
him.
team. Yeah, because I told you, right? He's the guy who finished off that T20 blast last year. There were two. He bowled the last ball of the game twice because there was a no ball, and the fireworks and all had gone off, and like they'd
Yeah.
won the tournament, and then the third umpire called a no ball, so they had to wait for the smoke to clear. So I remembered him. I put him in my fantasy team. So he picked
And
up
then he
4 wickets,
got
I
them
think,
out
which
again
was
or
pretty
something, right?
awesome.
In that game you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about, he still,
they
yeah,
got a run out at the end, and then there was a
yeah.
bit of controversy around that, but they won. But that's why I remember Nathan Ellis from. But that's half the table. We'll come back from this very short break, so don't go anywhere, guys. In the meantime, actually, why don't you like and subscribe and write a review and do all the other good things, send it to a friend, etc., etc. So while you're doing that, we will go for a very short break, and we will be back straight after this break. This is the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. Right. Welcome back from that break, and you're still listening to the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. If you haven't liked, subscribed, rated, reviewed, etc., shared, go and do that now. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're at One Tip, One Hand. So you've got another 5 seconds to do that before we get back into the top half of the table. So now we're getting into the business end of the IPL table. Varun, CSK sit at number 5 this week. They're looking pretty good, man. What did you make of their week this week?
Yeah, I mean Dhoni, dude. Like, what else do I say? Dhoni has got this magic. He's threatened his bowlers already by saying if you bowl more wides and no balls, you'll have to find a new captain. He has had Deepak Chahar go off after bowling just a few deliveries and has had to manage his bowlers around a strike bowler. He's had Moeen Ali with food poisoning, Ben Stokes, I think, in some sort of an injury. Um, he's had to bring in Ajinkya Rahane, who is a like proper test batsman.
What a knock!
I mean, yeah, that Ajinkya Rahane, it's that whole CSK old boy magic, right? Like, what happens? I don't know what it is. Do you just want to prove
What
Dhoni?
happens to CSK batting at 3 after Rena? You had Robin Uttapa. Now you've got
Yeah,
Ajinkya Rahane. It's like anyone who batted 3 for CSK is like has a second lease of life at cricket. What?
yeah. I don't know. It's unbelievable. And so Rahane, it was just a fantastic knock. Look, I was watching this on my iPad. I had to keep looking carefully. Is this Gaikwad or is this Rahane? And there was a point where I think Rahane was like 40 and Gaikwad was 5 of 10.
The
And
best
I
part
just
about
could
this, by
not
the way,
believe
is
it.
that you have like 3 TVs which are 65-inch plus, but you're watching it on your iPad. Why?
Yeah, exactly. Because then at night
Why?
you have to ensure the baby doesn't wake up. So there's all sorts of things going on. But yeah,
I'm sure
man,
a
but
lot
I
of
had to
listeners
look
relate to this.
I had to look twice to make sure it was actually Rahane. And then got Ruturaj Gaikwad, who is like just so consistent. He's doing very well. I I think Tony just makes it work, dude. I have to say one thing. He actually took a review of Sky, right, when Sky was batting, and Sky really didn't. He didn't make. He made one of two, right? Santner bowled a delivery that was a little bit down the leg. Sky went for a shot, and umpire gave it not out. Dhoni instantly just called for that review, and I think everyone was a bit shocked that did he hit it? Did he not? Sky looked confused, and sure enough, the Dhoni review system worked. Like we got Sky immediately. It was it was something else. I don't know what. I think the amazing thing for me is no matter which ground he's going to, people are like in the Wankhede, people are not cheering Mumbai or Rohit Sharma. They're wearing yellow and cheering for MS Dhoni. It's fantastic.
I've just got goosebumps as you said that because he is the greatest IPL superstar we have ever produced. The greatest Indian cricket captain, limited overs we've ever produced. And batting number 8, Varun. He's batting at number 8. So he comes in when there's 6 wickets down. He
Did,
played
did,
3 balls,
yeah,
6 out. What's his
yeah.
Basra, dude? Tell me what is
His,
Basra.
ba- his Basra was off the charts, man. I saw
412, I make it.
I think somebody posted a video that said just 4.5 minutes from the time he walked down onto the field, hit the two sixes, got out, and then left. Somebody posted a video of those 4.5 minutes, and it was just amazing. I would have done anything to be in the crowd for those 4.5 minutes. Two MSD sixes, and the crowd going wild. It was something else.
Yeah, and it was the difference between winning and losing. It was 12
Yeah,
runs. That was the margin. So
really, I forgot.
if
I didn't
Ashwin
see
is
that. Yeah.
here, he'd have to deny it, but they won because of MMS Dhoni's batting, not just his captaincy. But that was the game against the Lucknow Super Giants. Of course, that was a KL Rahul team, so strike rate would have been overrated. But MS Dhoni's strike rate was 400 in that game. Gaikwad is looking really good. I don't think any of us tipped him for the orange cap. Is he the current orange cap holder? He might be, right?
I think so, but yeah, because last time I said Gaikwad played well, I got a lot of shit about that as well. Or I said I want
No, you
Gaikwad in
you
the
wanted him to open with DDP, which like I don't know. I don't know about that.
yeah.
Anyway, so
All right, I think we may have lost DJ for a second. Let's just wait for him to come back.
sorry, I'm back. That's besides the point. I clicked
Yeah.
the wrong button. I was trying to
All
go
right.
to another scorecard and I clicked out of the studio. More amateur stuff, guys. Enjoyable. Gujarat Titans. So last year's champions, Varun. Harpik Dandia not playing. Injury concerns for them?
I don't think so. Like I said, there were so many people who missed out in this week um, that I think they're just being very cautious. Look, a lot of people have just like mm, gone home, said they're not going to play the rest of the IPL. Replacements are going to be flown in. So I think if there is somebody like a Ben Stokes or a Hardik Pandya who's so critical, and they've either got a muscle pull or something else, they're just you're not going to play them. It's too early in the tournament to take any risks.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Arush Anand has a question, Varun. Will GT lift the trophy again this season? Both of us, I know, had them going through the top 4.
Yeah,
So
so I think top four, but I don't know. Has any team won back to back IPLs? Chennai? I don't know. It's an interesting one. I
so
don't
Mumbai was
recall.
alternate years, right?
Yeah,
Mumbai was
exactly.
always
That's what I'm saying.
alternate years. That was like the
Which
great
means that
theory
for the
that we win
5 years,
every alternate year.
which means for the 5 years Mumbai won it. The other 5 years was it couldn't have been consecutive. So
4 years
10 out of the
Chennai would have
yeah
been. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I don't think they will win, but I think they will get very far. Like could even be the finals. Will Virat get the
Okay,
orange cap?
someone
Well,
says CSK has won back to back.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I had said. So CSK has won, and somebody also said, "Did DJ just say Harpik Dandiya?" Yeah, dude, that's been our like name for Hardik Pandya for a long time.
Go look at the meme where Hardik is dancing with Harpik doing dandiya. It's Harpik dandiya. Shreyans, man, come on. Anyway, may as well answer the other two questions on that list as well, Varun. Will Virat get the orange cap?
I don't
Who's
think
your orange
so.
cap
But
holder?
I think I said Butler.
No. Yeah, not a bad shout, man. He's looking good.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty dangerous. And should Lord Shardul play the WTC final? We've already covered this. He's giving a bloody good tryout for it, isn't he? Anyway, let's move on to the next team, Varun. Lucknow Super Giants. So we have some Lucknow Super Giants fans in the comments as well. LSG, please. They are looking solid. Again, another team that we've put in the playoffs because they just. I remember saying in the preview they look like they've got every base covered. They lost basically one game so far. They played three. They've won two. They've lost one. They lost to the Chennai Super Kings, but they put on a pretty good performance to get to 205 for seven, scoring over 205 with the bat. I mean, Kyle Mayers is looking pretty good. What happens when QDK hasn't played as yet? So who are they going to drop? Is it going to be Stoin?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so because how do you drop Mayers now? He's bowling the first over for you and doing a decent job. He's batting extremely well. I don't see how they're going to drop him. What I did want to make one comment when LSG was bowling, I think as a combination of their impact player, they actually had 9 people who could bowl, and the only two who couldn't on the field were Nicholas Puran and KL Rahul. So yeah. So I think Stoinis is the guy who's a little bit at risk, and also remember QDK is coming off great form in
Yeah.
T20s for South Africa. So I think he will get a look in. Who opens? That's the big question. I think Mayers unfortunately will need to drop to 3, but still a very very solid team.
No
And
chance of KL Rahul dropping himself.
there's no chance, man. He's when he's been captain, he's come out and said things like, "So should I drop myself if Kohli's playing well, or Kohli should be opener?" So there is no way he's going to do it
But
for
he's not
QDK
playing
or
well, is
Mayer.
he? He's not played
No,
well
he's
as
not.
yet. I'd
He's
actually
not.
said last week he'll score 100 in his second or third game. Not happened yet. Kya ho
Yeah,
raha
it's not happened, and I keep captaining him in my fantasy. I don't know. It's like the Sky thing, right? These guys are a little bit out of form. It's playing on your mind. There's so much
hai?
chat about it. I think yeah, KL Rahul is great. He scored over 600 runs a few times now, back to back in IPL. So I think he will come good. It's just a little bit a matter of time.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
We should
So
talk about
that's
your
now
IPL goat, man. Krunal Pandya in one game, he just rocked.
Krunal and Andre Russell are outdoing each other to be IPL greatest of all times right now, bro. If Krunal scores
No,
five, Russell scores, I'm going to score two.
Krunal actually did well, man, in the Hyderabad game. He took 3 wickets
Yeah.
at an economy rate of 4.5, where he had balls that were spinning and balls that were staying straight, which was a pretty good bowling performance. And then he hit 34. So that was a really, like, after a long time, I've seen an all round performance by Krunal.
Yeah. I think he's finding his groove now. I think for a long time they was probably stuck in the MI mindset, right? Like you've got Pollard and Hardik to come around you, so he's coming
Yeah.
into his own a little bit. Also, you can see kind of I think Deepak Huda. He's one that you need to watch because he might explode at any point, right? But that only leaves one team, Varun, the Rajasthan Royals.
Who I
What do you
think
make
of,
of them?
like, I think they're one of the top teams, man, in this IPL. They've got everything. They've got spin bowling, they've got swing bowling, they've got great openers, they've got a good middle order, they've got somebody who can come in like a Hetmeyer later and just hit it for six in the last few overs. I think Rajasthan has got a very, very good team.
So I've got three or four things I want to pick up with you. One, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Josh Butler, ultimate T20 player, right?
Yeah.
Great. Yashasvi Jaiswal in a team that has DDP, right? I mean, sorry, in a team that has isn't DDP in this team?
Yeah, he is, and he's forced DDP to bat at
Yeah,
four.
yeah.
So
Because
he's
I'm looking
obviously
at the
done.
scorecard and he's not even in one of the games. Like he's DDP
Yeah,
didn't play their last game, or
yeah,
didn't play the game against Delhi Capitals. To keep someone
because the
like Devdutt Padikkal out, how good has Yashasvi
yeah,
Jaiswal been, man?
yeah, he's been very good. He's been the RR's kind of uh, pick when he was young, and they've groomed him well. And I think he's repaying that faith. So I think he's done a great job to keep Padikkal out. I think Padikkal has not done a great job to adapt. Look, you have to be honest. There are many people waiting for opening slots, right? And Devdutt Padikkal just was automatic opener at RCB. It's not the case here. So for me, the sad thing is he's not being able to adapt his game, and I genuinely wonder if he has a long run at RR because it doesn't seem like Butler and Jaiswal are going anywhere. And Samson is going to bat at three. I think he deserves to bat at three.
Yeah, the other guy that I wanted to pick up with you quickly is Trent Bolt.
Yeah,
He used to
Honey.
take wickets, remember, for Mumbai, right? He used to open the bowling for Mumbai. Is he like is he a power play beast, this man? What?
Yeah, he is. Even in international cricket and IPL cricket, if Trent Bolt in the first two overs he can pick up 2 to 3 wickets in his first 2 overs, and that's a large part of the match done right there. When he doesn't pick up wickets, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think he does very well towards the latter part of the inning. So he
Hmm.
is a power play beast, and it's very hard, right? Against Delhi, he just got 2 wickets in that first over. Nobody, Manish Pandey and Prithvi Shaw, nobody had any idea what was going on,
Yeah,
and
and,
suddenly
and
Delhi was on the
Sunrisers
back
as
foot.
well.
Yeah.
Sunrisers as well, 2 wickets in the first over.
Yeah, and imagine when you're chasing 8, 9, 10 runs and over. Immediately the pressure's on the team chasing. Then you've got people like a Warner who are again not going to go at 10, 12 runs and over, right? So you've essentially just killed that entire chase right there with your first over.
And I'm like, how valuable is left arm swing and seam in the opening over? I mean, Delhi has got Sakaria and Khalil, right, and Mustafizur as well. But like the class of a Bolt or a Marco Janssen, we've
Yeah.
seen the damage Janssen's done today.
Yeah. Again,
I
in
mean,
2 wickets up front in his first over. I think, yeah, left arm quick swing bowlers are just, yeah, they're amazing. They're great to watch. And we've seen, including like a Shaheen Afridi, we've seen some great success from these guys in T20 cricket.
yeah, Reece Topley injured. Unfortunately, he's back. He's back in England. He's out of the IPL. But also, one question is coming on home advantage being good or bad for IPL. Have you enjoyed watching Chennai bowl 18 overs of spin at Chepauk again?
Yeah, it has been fun to see these things. Like again, you watch KKR back home at Eden, you watch Chennai at Chepauk. It suddenly you see the teams are playing to their strength. The squads start making a little bit more sense. So it is fun, man. It is fun, and again, it's so early. You're going to see a lot of home and away games happening now. Like Gujarat just lost at Ahmedabad, right? So it's
Yeah.
going to be fun to watch.
Well, I'm going to ask you to do a fantasy update in a moment, but before that, I want to hit some questions.
Yeah,
One, we've got clarification that CSK have won back to back, and Mumbai have won 19 and 20, so they won back to back as well. Um, Question around Warner continuing with DC captaincy for this season, Varun. What do you make of that? Is that even a question in an unsettled team without Rishabh Pant? Can you think about changing the captain mid-season like we did with Iyer coming in? And who would it be? I mean, who would he give it to?
I can't think of anyone you'd give it to, and I think that's the problem with DC. You just had to give it to Warner by default. Warner is your best batsman in the after 3 games, so you can't drop him. There is a case to say that players like David Warner, when you go ahead and run a ball, you're keeping somebody like a Mitch Marsh, Riley Russo, a Rovman Powell out of the playing 11 because of David Warner. Sure, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting debate. But in this current season, I don't see any way in which it's possible.
Someone suggested Akshar can be captain. I mean, Shaw before his troubles would be another candidate because he's a local player, right? But how good was it that we predicted Nitish Rana would be the KKR captain, and
Yeah,
lo and behold, he's doing pretty well.
yeah.
He is doing pretty well. Now, talking about doing well, Varun, give us a fantasy update. The Edges and Sledges family. What's going on?
Oh man, dude, I have to be honest. My fantasy is just hung. So DJ, can you give an update?
See, I have to get into a VPN to do any of this business, and I don't have my phone on me. So,
All right. So then
I
we'll
think we
post
were
about
six,
it
seven,
later.
eight at some point.
Yeah.
Is this because your fantasy is doing so badly that you don't want to tell anyone about it?
And I have not been doing well the last couple of days,
Okay.
but I was doing pretty well earlier. But yeah, we'll have an update for you next time on fantasy. It's still early. Some people are using their subs fast. Some have used boosters. You got to pace yourself, man. We've been saying this for a long time. Although none of us ever win, but you got to pace yourself.
that is that is right. But Varun, let's look ahead to the next week. What's going to change? Who's going to be the big movers? Who's going to be the big shaker of the next week? Because we got a suggestion of let's look ahead to the next week so that you can make more predictions so we can be more wrong. So why don't we do that?
I think, all right, very quickly. I think KKR is going to gain momentum. So I think they're going to continue kind of their good run. I think Mumbai plays Delhi, and I genuinely think Delhi is one of the weakest teams. So I have a feeling they might use that game to try and get into some sort of a winning streak. And remember, Mumbai Indians never starts well. So it is going to take them a little bit of time, but I think they will bounce back because they've got a good side. I think Bangalore will again bounce back because they've understood that there's too much dependency on Kohli, Faf, and Maxwell. So I think they will probably be a little bit more watchful, and these three are very good players. Other than that, I don't think I think Sunrisers are going to bounce back. They've done a great job in this game that's ongoing against
What?
Punjab King. As of now,
I
it's
thought you were going to
101.
ask the listeners for an apology, a public apology to you
It's too early, man. It's too
for
early. Only three
Sunrisers.
games. No, but they've done a great
So
job.
you're
They've got
balancing,
Punjab
you're
at
hedging your bet there. Nice.
yeah 101. For nine, they've got Punjab 101 for nine at 16 overs. So yeah, man. I mean that's it. That's the couple of highlights. Nothing else that really stands out.
Yeah, the two things I just wanted to quickly highlight was Sai Sudarshan's knock. I thought that was excellent. Ashwin's ball to Raza, man, in the last week.
Yeah, that was like a
What?
proper test delivery that you felt like he was bowling to a Smith or a Labuschagne. It was awesome. It
Yeah.
had like drift, it carried, it moved through the air. Raza had no idea what was happening. It took out the off stump. That was like the ball of the IPL for me so far.
Wow. And talking about test, what did Rahane mean when he's like, I want to play a test match at Wankhede? After playing a blazing
Yeah,
knock in the IPL, what is happening there?
I mean, yeah, he's clearly not getting to India's T20 side. So he is just plugging. He's made it already his plug to try and come back in the test squad. But yeah, I don't see either of these things happening.
Yeah, with Iyer injured though, that may not be a bad shout.
Yeah, you
Ayer's
never
injured.
know.
World Test
Yeah.
Championship final. Oh, who's
Yeah,
the
but they want to
contender for
make
that
Sky.
slot?
They want to make Sky play tests, right? Sky and Kishan.
Hmm. But KL might slot in at
Maybe,
number five.
maybe with
Well, this is a
Rinku,
different story.
maybe with Rinku Singh's great T20 form, we should put him into tests. I think, yeah, I think that's a
Baz
pretty.
ballin. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, the other trend actually you mentioned was the team, the Afghani players and the other kind of
Yeah,
smaller teams doing
I
really well. Right?
mean,
I mean, of course, Rashid took
yeah,
advantage, but
Rashid is a
Rashid's
big
like a
name, but
big
I'm saying you've got
player.
You've
Garbus.
got playing, you've got
Garbus.
Josh Little playing, you've got Sikandar Raza playing, David Weiser is
Josh?
Josh,
Josh Little?
Josh Little. You've got David Weiser, who's in the KKR dugout, I think. So yeah, these guys have like done well in the T20 World Cup, and they are now sitting in
Mm.
the IPL. I think it's fantastic. Also, I
Yeah, it's
think you're
great.
going to have your Sri Lankan players, New Zealand players, South African players. You're going to see a lot more of them in the next week as well.
Yeah. And win for Delhi in the next week or no?
I don't think so.
Oof. Bad news for Delhi Capitals fans, guys. Unfortunate. But I think that's the show, guys. That is the
Yeah.
Edges and Sledges cricket podcast on the Easter weekend. We are signing off. As always, a pleasure to speak to you, Varun. And I'll be off playing cricket next Sunday, so let's see whether I can make the show. But the show, as they say, must go on, and it will go on next week. So do join us. As I said, like, subscribe, rate, review, share, etc., etc., etc. This is the Agents Legends Cricket Podcast. Signing off. Take care, guys.